You know what is genuinely dangerous about certain Australian locations in 2026? Not the snakes or spiders everyone jokes about overseas. The real documented dangers are toxic industrial contamination that can cause fatal cancer decades after exposure, extreme saltwater crocodile populations actively hunting in beautiful waters, deadly surf rip conditions that drown 50 Australians annually, and extreme isolation creating fatal emergency response delays where ambulances cannot reach you for hours or days. These are not internet myths, urban legends, or exaggerated warnings designed to scare tourists for entertainment. These are specific, documented locations where people die regularly every single year, where proven environmental contamination causes fatal cancer decades after brief exposure, where nature genuinely wants you dead through apex predators or harsh conditions, or where crime rates are genuinely extreme and require complete avoidance. Some dangerous places result from pure nature, including crocodile-infested waterways and rivers, deadly rip current surf conditions, and extreme desert heat. Some are toxic, contaminated due to historical industrial activity and require permanent avoidance. Some are remote and isolated, where any medical emergency means certain death because rescue is impossible. Some are urban areas with documented crime rates, making them genuinely unsafe, particularly after dark. The critical key is understanding real versus perceived danger through statistics and evidence. Australia has dangerous wildlife across the continent, but certain specific locations concentrate multiple dangers simultaneously, making them genuinely hazardous and requiring complete avoidance, not just reasonable caution. I researched fatality statistics extensively, verified environmental contamination data, contacted emergency services about response capabilities, and talked to locals about actual dangers versus reputation. These dangers are documented and real. These 15 locations represent places you should genuinely avoid in Australia for legitimate safety reasons. Some are natural hazards. Some are man-made contamination. Some are crime-affected areas. All present genuine risks. Let's break down 15 places in Australia you should never go to. At number 15, Wittenoom, Western Australia. Asbestos contaminated ghost town, literally toxic to breathe. Location about 1,400 kilometers north of Perth, in the Pilbara region. Population officially 3 stubborn residents remaining. Wittenoom mined deadly blue asbestos from 1937 to 1966. Asbestos exposure has killed over 2,000 former workers and residents from mesothelioma and asbestosis. The government removed the town from official maps, hoping people would forget it exists. Roads have been officially degazetted and street signs removed. The danger is invisible. Lethal asbestos contamination covers every surface. Blue asbestos fibers blow through the streets with every wind gust. Mine tailings containing millions of fibers surround the town. Walking through town, you inhale deadly fibers with every breath, and those fibers can cause cancer decades later. Government warnings are explicit and severe. Do not enter the town under any circumstances. Do not stop for photographs. Do not explore abandoned buildings. Even brief exposure dramatically increases cancer risk. The 3 remaining residents warn visitors to leave immediately. In short, this is a toxic, abandoned town where simply breathing the air can cause fatal cancer. The government removed it from maps. Asbestos contamination is everywhere. Never visit under any circumstances. There is zero tourism value worth risking a cancer diagnosis. Number 14. Far North Queensland crocodile zones during the wet season. This is saltwater crocodile territory where attacks occur regularly. Dangerous. The location covers the entire coastal region from Cooktown to Cape York and the inland rivers. Populations vary, including towns and very remote communities. Coastal. Saltwater crocodiles are apex predators. They can grow 6 to 7 meters, and they will hunt anything that enters the water. The wet season, from November to April, is when crocodile activity peaks. Estuaries, rivers, coastal waters, and even swimming pools near rivers can contain hunting crocodiles. Apex. Fatal attacks happen almost every year. People fishing from riverbanks have been taken. Swimmers in supposedly safe spots get attacked. Fishermen in small boats get struck. Remote campers on river edges sometimes disappear. Crocodiles are stealthy, fast, and incredibly powerful. Fatal. Warning signs are posted, but tourists ignore them constantly. Every year, someone dies after thinking they can quickly wash their hands in a river or cool off in a beautiful waterhole. The crocodiles are there. They are hunting, and they will attack. Warning. In short, apex predators are actively hunting in beautiful tropical waters, and fatal attacks are a regular occurrence. Never enter the water north of Rockhampton during the wet season, no matter how safe it looks. Never. At number 13, the remote Simpson Desert interior during summer months. This is an extreme, harsh desert environment where mechanical breakdowns mean certain death from exposure. The location spans the borders of Queensland, the Northern Territory, and South Australia, covering a massive area. It is completely uninhabited, with 0 permanent settlements. The Simpson Desert is Australia's harshest, most unforgiving desert. It features over 1,000 parallel red sand dunes, creating incredibly difficult terrain. In summer, temperatures routinely exceed 50 degrees Celsius, creating genuinely lethal conditions. There is absolutely no water anywhere across the entire desert. There are no services of any kind. No help is available. Satellite phone communication is absolutely essential for any travel attempt. Mobile phone coverage is a complete fantasy throughout the region. The principal danger is a mechanical vehicle breakdown or getting stuck in soft sand and requiring recovery. Summer heat can kill unprepared people within hours if they do not have adequate water supplies. There is absolutely no shade anywhere across the landscape. A vehicle breakdown means certain death if rescue does not arrive quickly enough. Mobile coverage does not exist, making calls impossible. A satellite phone battery dying or malfunctioning is an immediately fatal situation. Multiple tourist deaths occur regularly from severely underestimating the desert's harshness and distances. People run completely out of water. Vehicles break down under the harsh conditions. Heat stroke can kill within hours in 50-degree temperatures. Bodies are sometimes not found for weeks or months after disappearance. The desert is genuinely deadly to unprepared travelers. In short, a vehicle breakdown equals certain death from exposure. 50-degree temperatures daily, absolutely zero water anywhere, and zero help available for hundreds of kilometers. Never attempt to cross this interior without expert preparation, multiple vehicles traveling together, comprehensive equipment, and functioning satellite communication. Tourists die regularly from severe underestimation of these conditions. Number 12. Bombo Beach and Kiama Coastal Rock Platforms in New South Wales. These are deadly wave platforms where people are swept off regularly. This is on the south coast of New South Wales, near Kiama. It is a popular tourist destination, but it has dangerous conditions. The rock platforms extend into the ocean and create spectacular views. Massive waves surge across the platforms, regularly sweeping people into the ocean. The platforms are slippery and the waves are unpredictable. Ocean currents often prevent swimming to safety. Multiple deaths occur annually, despite warning signs and fence barriers. Tourists who climb over fences for photographs have been swept away. Fishermen on the platforms are hit by rogue waves. Bodies wash up days later or are never found. The waves come unexpectedly. You are taking a photograph. A wave surges across the platform, and suddenly you are in the ocean, being dragged out by the current. The ocean is powerful, the rocks are slippery, and rescue is nearly impossible. Translation: these are beautiful rock platforms where unexpected massive waves sweep people into the ocean, killing them. Multiple people die each year despite warnings. Never go onto rock platforms during large surf, regardless of how calm it appears between sets. Number 11. Magnetic Island waters during stinger season. This is deadly box jellyfish territory in the summer months. Magnetic Island sits off the Townsville coast in North Queensland. It is a popular tourist island destination. Box jellyfish and irukandji jellyfish inhabit the waters from November to May. A box jellyfish sting can cause cardiac arrest within minutes. An irukandji sting produces severe pain and can sometimes be fatal. The jellyfish are nearly invisible in the water. Fatal stings occur regularly during stinger season. Tourists swimming in unprotected waters get stung. The pain can be excruciating, and cardiac arrest can follow quickly without immediate treatment. Vinegar and emergency medical care are required immediately. Designated stinger nets provide some protection, but they do not guarantee safety. Never swim outside netted areas during stinger season. The jellyfish are difficult to see, and stings are potentially fatal. In short, invisible, deadly jellyfish patrol these tropical waters from November to May. Deaths from stings are recorded every season. Do not enter unprotected water during the season. Such a sting can trigger cardiac arrest in minutes. At number 10, road travel in the remote Kimberley region of Western Australia during the wet season. Flooded, impassable roads can become deadly. The wet season, November to April, brings massive flooding. Roads turn into fast-flowing rivers, and causeways become deadly crossings. Saltwater crocodiles inhabit the floodwaters. Towns can become completely isolated. Tourist deaths happen when people attempt flooded crossings. Vehicles are swept away by strong currents. People drown, trying to escape flooded vehicles. Crocodiles attack people in the water. In remote Kimberley, rescue can take hours or days, or may not be possible. The water often looks shallow at a causeway. You enter, the current sweeps the vehicle downstream, the vehicle fills with water, and you cannot escape. Crocodiles are in the water. Help is far away. Never attempt a flooded crossing regardless of apparent depth. Never travel the Kimberley wet season without expert knowledge, satellite communications, and ample water. Heed local warnings and turn back when a road is flooded. At number 9, Sydney's The Gap at Watsons Bay. Suicide and accidental death cliff location. The Gap sits at the eastern Sydney Harbour entrance, and it is an accessible tourist lookout. The Gap is a spectacular ocean cliff, dropping 80 metres to rocks below. It is also Australia's most notorious suicide location, with more than 50 deaths each year. Accidental deaths also occur when people take risky photographs near unfenced edges. The combination of intentional jumps and accidental falls makes this a dangerous place. Strong winds can blow people off balance near the cliff edge. Tourists sometimes lean over barriers for photographs, and they fall. The drop is immediately fatal. Fencing exists, but people climb over constantly. A continuing mental health crisis brings vulnerable people to the site. The location combines natural danger with human tragedy. Exercise extreme caution near edges. Never climb barriers. At number 8, remote parts of Cape York during the monsoon season. Extreme isolation, widespread flooding, and crocodiles make this area dangerous. Cape York Peninsula is in far north Queensland. The region includes remote Indigenous communities and vast wilderness, where self-reliance and local knowledge are essential. The monsoon season, from November to April, often brings complete isolation. Roads become impassable, rivers overflow, towns flood, and supplies cannot reach communities. Medical evacuation can be impossible for weeks. Crocodiles move into floodwaters. Tourist deaths have occurred when visitors attempt Cape York during the wet season. Vehicles become stuck and require helicopter rescue. In many cases, helicopters cannot fly in monsoon conditions, so rescue is not possible. Medical emergencies can become fatal, and crocodile attacks in floodwaters have been documented. Heat and humidity are extreme. Indigenous communities survive these conditions through careful preparation and knowledge. Tourists who try wet season travel without local expertise face deadly conditions. Never attempt Cape York from November to April without Indigenous guides and expert preparation. In a medical emergency, help may not arrive, and that can be fatal. At number 7, certain urban areas in Darwin and Katherine after dark. These parts of the Northern Territory have extreme rates of alcohol-fueled violence. Darwin is the territorial capital, and Katherine is a regional centre. In some suburbs, streets are dangerous after sunset. Alcohol-fueled violence occurs nightly. Random assaults on strangers happen, including knife attacks and group bashings. The violence is unpredictable. Walking the wrong street at the wrong time can get you attacked by a drunk group. Women face additional harassment and assault risks. Certain suburbs are genuinely dangerous after sunset. Police statistics confirm extreme assault rates. Hospital emergency departments treat assault victims nightly. Both locals and tourists have been attacked. The combination of heavy drinking culture, heat, and limited economic opportunities contributes to the violence. In short, extreme assault rates exist in certain Northern Territory urban areas after dark. Random alcohol-fueled violence is common. Avoid certain suburbs completely after dark. Women are particularly vulnerable. Violence is unpredictable and frequent. At number 6, remote Nullarbor roadhouses and rest areas. Isolated locations with occasional violent crime. Nullarbor Plain, between South Australia and Western Australia. Extreme remoteness. The Nullarbor is 1,200 kilometres of near-empty highway crossing a treeless plain. Roadhouses appear roughly every 200 kilometres. There are remote rest areas used for overnight stops. That extreme isolation creates vulnerability. Occasional violent crimes have occurred at remote rest areas. Reports include assaults on solo travellers, attacks on couples camping, and robberies that turned violent. The isolation means no help is available. There may be no mobile phone coverage, and the next roadhouse can be hours away. Most travel is completely safe, but isolated incidents of violence have occurred. Solo travellers are particularly vulnerable. Women travelling alone face heightened risk. In this environment, screaming achieves nothing. In short, extreme isolation creates vulnerability to violence, even though incidents are rare. Solo travellers and women are particularly at risk. Never camp alone at remote rest areas. Stay at roadhouses. Travel in convoy if possible on the Nullarbor. Number 5. Certain Alice Springs town camps and nearby areas after dark. Extreme dysfunction and violence. This concerns the central Australian town of Alice Springs and specific urban areas known as town camps. These places are not tourist neighbourhoods. In some locations, town camps face high levels of violence, substance abuse, and poverty. Tourists who wander into the wrong places face real danger. Random assaults and sexual violence have occurred. Government reports document severe dysfunction, with violence rates well above national averages. Children and women can be unsafe. Certain areas are genuinely dangerous, especially after dark. The issues are complex, involving intergenerational trauma, substance abuse, and policy failures. Still, the risk to visitors is real. A single wrong turn can create genuine risk. In short, severe social dysfunction has produced dangerous pockets in and around Alice Springs. Avoid town camps and certain areas completely. Stay in designated tourist areas, follow local advice, and do not walk into unfamiliar neighbourhoods after dark. At number 4, solo travel in the remote Australian outback without preparation. Isolation, where a breakdown can mean death. Location is the entire remote interior, including Western Australia, Northern Territory, South Australia, and Queensland outback. Thousands of kilometres of nothing. Remote outback roads see one vehicle per day or less. Summer temperatures exceed 45 degrees Celsius regularly. There is no mobile coverage. A mechanical breakdown can mean death without rescue. There is no natural water. Tourist deaths occur annually from inadequate preparation, including running out of water, vehicle breakdown, getting lost, and heat stroke. Bodies are sometimes found weeks later or never. The Outback is genuinely deadly to unprepared travelers. The distances are incomprehensible to city dwellers. The next town is 600 kilometers away. There are no services between. Water sources do not exist. Mobile coverage is fantasy. A satellite phone battery dying can be fatal. Translation: extreme remoteness and heat where preparation errors equal death. Multiple tourist deaths occur annually from underestimation. Never travel the remote outback without multiple spare tires, at least 50 litres of water, a satellite phone, and a detailed route plan filed with authorities. At number 3, certain Western Sydney suburbs after dark. In some parts of Western Sydney, violent crime rates are high, and both residents and visitors face gang activity, drug-related violence, home invasions, carjackings, and random assaults. Police statistics confirm elevated crime in specific suburbs. Youth gangs operate openly, and drive-by shootings and bystanders getting caught in violence have been reported. These areas are genuinely dangerous, particularly after dark. Most of Sydney is completely safe, but pockets of concentrated crime create real risk. Know which suburbs to avoid, plan routes, carry basic situational awareness, and research safe versus dangerous areas before visiting Sydney. Specific Western Sydney suburbs have genuinely high violent crime rates. Avoid certain suburbs after dark and follow local advice. At number 2, remote beach camping on far North Queensland coast. This is Crocodile country, where people disappear. Locations include Cape York and the Gulf Coast. These remote beaches are pristine and beautiful. They are also prime saltwater crocodile hunting territory. Crocodiles patrol beaches at night. Rivers that enter the ocean act as crocodile highways. The danger is extreme. Campers have died in crocodile attacks, sleeping in a tent near the water, walking to the toilet at night, or swimming to cool off. The crocodiles are there, and they hunt at night. They will attack. No warning signs exist on many remote beaches because nobody should be there. The assumption that people understand far North Queensland beaches mean crocodiles is not reliable. Tourists keep camping and people keep dying. Beautiful remote beaches are active crocodile hunting territory. People disappear regularly from beach camps. Never camp on far North Queensland beaches near water. If you must travel in remote crocodile country, stay well away from the water, do not swim, and follow local advice. At number 1, Australian beaches with unpatrolled surf during rip current conditions. This is the most consistently deadly hazard, killing more Australians each year than all other natural disasters combined. Drowning claims 50+ lives annually nationwide. Location is the entire Australian coastline, spanning thousands of kilometres. Thousands of individual beaches stretch from tropical Queensland to temperate Tasmania. RIP currents kill more people each year than any other single natural disaster in Australia, including bushfires, floods, cyclones, and all wildlife combined. Beautiful beaches with deceptively calm surfaces can hide deadly, powerful rip currents that pull swimmers out to sea rapidly. Physical exhaustion from fighting the current leads directly to drowning. Bodies wash up on beaches days later, or drift out to sea and are never recovered. The tragic pattern repeats every summer. A tourist or local walks into the water at an unpatrolled beach, assuming a calm surface equals safety. They get caught immediately in a powerful rip current. They panic instinctively and try to swim directly against the current back to shore. They exhaust themselves completely within 5 to 10 minutes of intense effort and drown within full sight of shore, unable to call for help. Rip currents are invisible from shore and give no visual warning. The water surface looks perfectly calm and inviting. You enter confidently, and suddenly, within seconds, you are being pulled out to sea rapidly at speeds exceeding 2 meters per second, impossible to swim against. Fighting the current exhausts even strong swimmers within minutes. You can drown within sight of shore, watching helplessly as the beach gets further away. Education campaigns repeat this message endlessly across every media channel. Always swim between red and yellow flags at beaches with active lifeguard patrols. Never swim alone without someone watching. Never swim at unpatrolled beaches, regardless of conditions or personal ability. Yet preventable deaths continue because people consistently believe they are strong swimmers and immune to natural danger. The cognitive failure is thinking pool swimming translates to ocean survival. Pool skills do not teach handling rip currents, waves, or ocean conditions. The ocean is fundamentally different and requires specific knowledge and respect. Rip currents at unpatrolled beaches kill more Australians each year than sharks, crocodiles, snakes, spiders, and all other wildlife combined, totaling 50+ drowning deaths annually. Never swim at unpatrolled beaches regardless of personal swimming ability or confidence. Only swim between red and yellow flags at beaches with active lifeguard patrols. Rip currents are invisible, powerful, and deadly. So there you have it. 15 places in Australia you should genuinely avoid for legitimate safety reasons. Let us be completely honest about Australian danger perception versus reality. Australia's reputation for deadly wildlife is mostly exaggerated for entertainment. Snake bites are rare. Spider deaths essentially do not occur. Shark attacks are extremely rare statistically. The wildlife danger is overstated dramatically. The real dangers are environmental hazards that people underestimate. Rip currents kill 50 people each year, but tourists still swim at unpatrolled beaches. Heat stroke kills tourists in the Outback, yet people still travel unprepared. Crocodiles kill people regularly, but tourists still swim in far north waters. The pattern is consistent, an underestimation of natural hazards combined with overconfidence in personal abilities. People overestimate their swimming skills and drown in rips. People underestimate heat and die from exposure. People assume crocodile warnings are exaggerated and then get taken. Wittenoom is an extreme case and must be avoided. Asbestos contamination there causes mesothelioma decades later, and there is no cure. Every visit increases cancer risk. The 3 remaining residents are exposed daily, and the long-term cancer risk is real and substantial. Government removal from maps and the degazetting of roads sends a clear message. This location is too dangerous for any visit, yet tourists still drive there for photographs and urban exploration. The crocodile danger in far North Queensland and the Northern Territory is severely underestimated. Saltwater crocodiles are apex predators built for ambush hunting. They are incredibly patient. They are faster and stronger than humans. The tropical waters look inviting, and warning signs can seem excessive to visitors from countries without large predators. Then someone wades in to cool off and is taken by a 5-meter crocodile. The attacks are fast, brutal, and usually fatal. The Simpson Desert and other remote outback areas are extreme but avoidable with proper preparation. Tourists consistently underestimate distances, heat, and isolation. City dwellers cannot easily grasp 600 kilometers between services and no mobile coverage. Breaking down in the Simpson Desert in summer with inadequate water can mean death from heat exposure within hours. Temperatures can exceed 50 degrees. There is no shade. Rescue often takes at least 24 hours, even with a satellite phone. Dehydration and heat stroke kill quickly. Ocean hazards, including rip currents and rock platforms, kill consistently because people ignore warnings. The rock platforms at Kiama have barriers and signs, but people climb over for better photographs. A massive wave can sweep across the platform and carry someone into the ocean, where currents pull them away. Rip current education is everywhere. Flags on beaches show safe swimming zones. Lifeguards patrol and warn swimmers. Yet people still swim at unpatrolled beaches or outside the flags. Rips pull them out, they panic, they try to swim against the current, and they drown. Social dysfunction in parts of the Northern Territory and some outback towns creates genuine urban danger, separate from natural hazards. Alice Springs town camps experience violence rates that dramatically exceed most Australian locations. Alcohol-fueled assaults occur regularly at night. These are not racist exaggerations. Government reports and police statistics document extreme dysfunction. The violence most severely affects local communities, but tourists who wander into the wrong areas can face real danger. These issues require long-term policy solutions, but the danger is current reality. Darwin's assault rates are among Australia's highest. High alcohol consumption combines with heat, isolation, and limited opportunities to create violence. Attacks are often random. Walking the wrong street at the wrong time can get you attacked by a drunk group. The takeaway is clear. Respect local warnings. Never swim outside red and yellow flags. Avoid Wittenoom entirely. Carry satellite communications and ample water for remote travel. Heed lifeguards and posted signs. Shift complacency into caution and plan your travel with real, evidence-based risks in mind. The remote area vulnerability is a different kind of danger. Nullarbor rest areas and remote roadhouses are mostly safe. But isolation creates vulnerability to opportunistic crime. Solo travelers, particularly women, face increased risks. The isolation means no help is available. The beach camping danger in Crocodile territory combines beautiful remote locations with apex predators. The beaches look paradisiacal. They are crocodile hunting grounds. People camp on the beach. Crocodiles attack tents at night. People die or disappear. The cognitive dissonance is severe. A beautiful beach in Australia does not guarantee safety for every place. Far North Queensland beaches are different. The crocodiles are there and they will attack. The beauty can be deadly. Preparation determines survival in remote Australia. Proper preparation, including adequate water, satellite communication, spare parts, and route planning, makes outback travel safe. Inadequate preparation makes it potentially fatal. Every tourist death in the outback involves preparation failure. Insufficient water, no satellite phone, wrong vehicle, no spare tire, wrong time of year. The outback is unforgiving of mistakes. Research thoroughly before traveling to any remote Australian location using multiple sources. Understand the specific, unique dangers particular to each region. Prepare adequately with proper equipment and supplies. Respect all warnings from local residents and government authorities. Do not assume warnings are exaggerated for entertainment or tourism control. Pack an absolute minimum of 50 litres of drinking water for any outback travel, plus additional water for vehicle cooling. Carry a fully charged satellite phone with spare battery backup. File a detailed route plan with someone reliable who will raise the alarm if you are overdue. Travel with another vehicle if remotely possible for mutual assistance. Check detailed weather forecasts carefully before departure. Never swim at unpatrolled beaches regardless of how calm the surface water appears to inexperienced eyes. Only swim between red and yellow flags where trained lifeguards actively patrol during daylight hours. If you are caught in a rip current, swim parallel to the shore until you are completely out of the current, then swim back diagonally. Never panic and never attempt to swim directly against the current. Never enter any natural water in far North Queensland or in the Northern Territory unless you are in designated, specifically safe swimming areas like public pools or protected stinger nets. Assume all rivers, estuaries, billabongs, and coastal waters contain hunting saltwater crocodiles during the wet season, November through April. The crocodiles are there. Avoid Wittenoom asbestos town completely under all circumstances. The cancer risk from asbestos exposure is real, substantial, and will manifest decades later. No tourism or exploration value is worth the certain increased mesothelioma risk. The deadly contamination can kill you 30 years later when you have forgotten the visit. Research crime rates carefully when visiting any unfamiliar Australian cities or regions. Avoid documented high crime areas, particularly after dark when violence peaks. Solo travelers, especially women, should take extra precautions and avoid risky locations completely in certain areas. The Australian environment is harsh and unforgiving, but manageable with proper respect and preparation. The dangers are real, but avoidable through caution and planning. Can we discuss how education campaigns repeatedly fail? Surf safety education is widespread, yet rip drownings continue. Crocodile warnings are posted, yet attacks still occur. Heat exposure warnings exist, yet tourists sometimes die unprepared. The core problem is overconfidence combined with an inability to comprehend unfamiliar dangers. European tourists may not imagine heat that kills in hours. American tourists may not comprehend ocean currents different from home. Asian tourists may not conceptualize crocodile danger. Understanding and respect save lives. These 15 locations represent concentrated dangers that require either complete avoidance or extreme caution. Most of Australia is safe for visitors who take basic precautions, but these specific places present genuine, elevated risks. If you are an international visitor unfamiliar with Australian conditions, respect local warnings and official advice. Australians grow up learning many of these hazards, and these warnings are not exaggerated for entertainment. If you are Australian, do not become complacent. Most drownings are locals who think they know the beach. Most Outback deaths are Australians who underestimated conditions. Subscribe for Australian content covering genuine safety information, not just property and economics. Comment which danger surprised you most, and tell us if you have encountered any of these places. Like the video so the algorithm knows that Australian safety information matters to viewers planning travel. See you next time with different Australian content.